Good afternoon, all. Am I audible? Am I audible, friends? Hello. Thank you. Appreciate. Yeah, let's get started. I'll share my screen. All right. So we'll go here. Yes, so in last context session, we have gone through uh, the internet, World Wide Web, web browser, and web server. So we understood, the need of internet, what is World Wide Web, who formed this, what is the role of, Charles Babbage and Tim Berners-Lee, over there. We are also understood web browser and web server. Okay. So, and we gone through a history in 19, it is all started with, defense, Department of Defense, that's what they started. ARPANET, we understood ARPANET and, other team network, internet, uh, origin, Tim Berners-Lee, World Wide Web. So World Wide Web was the idea of, in fact, HTML and the World Wide Web was the overall idea of the Tim Berners-Lee only. Tim Berners-Lee was the innovator. We understood the client server architecture, friends. We understood what is web browser, why we need it. We also gone through a, you know, now we see that URL and HTML view protocol. Okay, we understood the working of the entire, how does the entire website work. Whenever request then, it goes to a DNS server. From there, IP is map. Okay, and then how does the HTTP request flows, what the server does, and in HTML format the response is sent. Okay, that's what we understood in last session, and that's where we stopped. Okay, now we'll start today's session. I'll just see what is the final count, and then we'll get started. I was just taking a you know a revision, so let's go ahead and we'll start with the content session 2. Fine. uh, So the overall, the flow will be like this. Let me share this here. Okay, so uh, till mid semester, you will be looking at HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Basic. Uh, mm, you know, uh, Functions and syntax. So you can say basic language. Okay. After mid semester, so I mean to say post mid semester, we'll be doing a JavaScript uh, with DOM, which is document object model. Yeah, document object model. Okay. Then we'll be doing a PHP. We'll be looking at one more thing, XML. Okay. Extensible markup language. Then we are looking at PHP also. Okay. So where this PHP is basically a web server scripting. Okay. Server side scripting, we should say. server side scripting. And all other they are client side scripting, either HTML, CSS, JavaScript, JavaScript with DOM, or XML is not a scripting language, but actually they say it's a you know it's a standard for communication. Okay, that's why I preferred. It's a standard for communication. Okay, fine. So excuse the spelling. This is how the overall take over here for the entire semester. I was just waiting for a few more participants. That's it. Okay, fine. Uh, so friends, you can. So what I'm doing, friends, I'm typing a URL. Okay, this is all called as URL, Uniform Resource Locator. Okay, I'm typing it. Fine. Can you see the browser, everyone? I'm typing something on the URL, Uniform Resource Locator. Are you able to see, friends?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay, and I'm putting it. Okay, so this is the most important thing in the entire what is called uh, entire web technology. Okay, if we are messing up with this particular the uniform resource locator, which will help us to identify a resource on the web. Okay, if we play with this, we won't be able to reach anywhere. Okay, so 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 first and everything starts from here and ends over here. Okay, so if you don't basically type in the way it was required, it will start throwing n number of error. So I'm typing something on my URL, and I'm putting. So there are many things over here. So one is they should understand this is a protocol. Okay, I'm using HTTPS. If this is it's a web server, if it is a if it is file, we'll type FTP. Okay, so there if it is a file server, we'll type FTP, but it's a web server, so I'm typing HTTPS. Okay, this tutorial.com is the entire domain name, and this and under this domain, I'm trying to find this file. Okay, let's see whether I have been successful or not. So I'm going very slow. The URL, we got it. We got the communication scheme, which is HTTPS. In case of FTP file server, we'll type FTP, and there are, in case of only simple file, we'll type a file. So there are other communication scheme or protocol. Okay. Now I'm entering what is happening. What has happened actually? Any idea? Anyone? Did I enter the right URL or I entered the wrong URL? Let me try it once again. Okay. So I'll go here. I'll type, let's say, something, I'm typing something here. Okay. And let me do enter. Now what has happened? What it is showing?
The server will not respond on our request.
Yeah, it is saying the requested URL was not found on the server. Understand one thing. See, try to understand the meaning of the message. Okay, understand the meaning of the message. Now what is the message? Now there are various things we can extract out of this message from the particular URL. Okay, we're gonna see it what's the URL actually. Okay, and this we'll be using as we go and do a programming. Okay, so we'll first start with HTML. We'll see a few elements of HTML. We'll move to a CSS, then we'll do a JavaScript basic syntax and languages. We'll move to a DOM. We'll go to XML, and then PHP in the end. Okay. Now understand there are various meaning of this server. Okay. Can you tell me what is went right over here, friends? What is went right over here? Don't tell me what is went wrong. what is went right here? The question is, see, what is went wrong is very clearly evident over here. But what is went wrong? Can you tell me what is went wrong on this URL? Sorry, what is went right on this particular URL?
The request is accepted by the server and it will try to find the page, but it is not found. Then the server will generate an error. This is that thing.
Fantastic, Yogesh. Fantastic. Very good answer. See, you have to analyze this error message very carefully when we do a further program. So it is saying that, yeah, number one, server exists. Okay. So like Yogesh said, okay. So it is saying very clearly that server exists. Okay. So you have to don't read the message blindly. Understand the meaning of the message. Okay, because that message will help us to reach to a particular resource. Okay. So it says that not sorry not found. Okay, why I'm typing? I can just get this here. See, I think we can copy it. There is no restriction. Okay. Not found, the request, it is clearly saying that it is not found. Now, what is not found, that message has to be clear. So it is saying very clearly the requested URL was not found on the server. So what is right? So I understand, because by by purposely we put something like this. So this I understand that that index.php is there, but something attached to a index.php, this particular file does not exist, and it is clearly saying that on this server. What do you mean by this? So on this server means, yeah, the server is correct. So remember, my friends, server is correct. It says that this server exists. Okay, this server exists. Okay, now let me. So you take a positive out of the message and take a negative out of the message also. So the one thing that, yeah, and analyzing this, oh, server exists. That's great. So no problem. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do a message. Put try this in a different way. Okay, and nowadays, friends, browser are very smart. Okay, and if this could have been, and sometimes what browser does, they actually, they do a. I'm talking about the browser, which were started. See, the organization like W3C, which is setting a standard for all this browser. Okay, they set one rule. They say that more help to a user, and you will find that in some of the browser it could have that they might have removed all those numbers which was I appended in the end, and they could have landed you onto the landing page. I mean the main home page. What I'm trying to say. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do some mistake here. I'll say to tutorial1.com. Okay, and let's see. Why don't we do it in the on another browser? Let me try this way. So what is happening over here? Look at and read the message in a different way. First message, it is saying the site can't be reached because actually this site doesn't exist. Okay, so you have to understand the meaning of the error message. So here it is saying 404, the file now not found, the URL was not found on the server. That is one. Okay. And look at the, kind of the, appearance you are getting. You are getting, okay, it's very simple appearance. That it is reached to a particular, web server. It went over there. Okay. You sent a request. It went to that means this entire, HTTP request and response, the entire cycle has generated. Okay. So what I was trying to say is this thing. This entire journey has happened, friends. So request was generated, went to web server has took a request, process it, and found that okay, you come to a right kind of server, but this particular resource is not available, or the file is not available, or whatever you are looking for. Okay, and that is where it has generated a response saying not found. But whereas the other error message, what is that? This one here, no such case. It went to a DNS. Okay, it went to a domain name system server. There it's tried to find out the IP of it, and it is got to know that such thing doesn't exist. Okay, Uh, uh, is it giving me any kind of help here? Do you think this message is also promoting some kind of help to me? This particular message. See, this is very evident that it is saying, yeah, server is correct, but the resource is not there. On this server, I search it. It is saying not found on this server. Okay. So meaning is fantastic. Again, on this, is there, this message also prompting me some kind of help? Do you think this message prompting me some kind of help? Or is there is help in this message?
A typo, sir.
Fantastic. Who's this?
Prajwal, sir.
Fantastic, Prajwal. Thank you very much. So it's a typo. It is saying that check if there is a typo in w dot. So it is telling you by mistake you might have typed it. Recheck. If spelling is correct, this again the second help it is saying. What is the second help it is trying to give, that if I am not saying that you made a mistake. See, it is also taking a very diplomatic step. What a diplomatic saying, okay, a user, check if typo is there. Okay, if spelling is correct, look at here. If spelling is correct, try running Windows Network Diagnostic. Okay, and DNS probe finish NX domain. It is saying, oh, this kind of error you are getting it. So it is, giving you all the probability. Okay. Now I'm gonna type this and gonna. So what is this? It says that your browser could not find IP address associated with a website domain name, preventing you from accessing it. Okay. Very clear message. See, now what is the problem for me on this? So it is saying very clearly, okay, user, but see, since I am a technical user, okay, so I'm able to know it. If I ask you to change this entire error message, how will you change it? Anyone? So let's say you have been given as a the overall portal head. Okay, you have been given a chance to basically change this entire error message. How would you change it? What kind of changes you want to bring? Okay, I don't see anything being doing change over here. Okay, I will say that, okay, check if typo in the this message. Okay, now where is the confusion is that it is asking, being a non-technical person, saying try running Windows Network Diagnostic. I'm sorry, honestly, this error is out of out of my boundary, out of my knowledge. Okay, again, the problem happen here is that the DNS probe finished NX domain, and it is giving me something like this. I'm honestly don't know what it is actually. So first thing is, okay, very helpful, but second, line number 2 and 3 for a non-technical person is very difficult. Okay, so they won't understand. So friend, we want to create a portal in the end. Okay, maybe in the class number, I think 14, or by 14 we'll finish creating all the entire portal. We'll upload on the web server using PHP. We'll use the PHP over there. When okay, so this has to be done very fantastically. Okay, either it is message from a browser, it is generated, or from a DNS. This message was actually generated from a DNS actually. Okay, your DNS server. So DNS server says that we are unable to find. Now, what I will do if I click on this, by try running Windows Network Diagnostic. Let's see that. Okay. So I'm trying to. Uh, it seems there's a. Oh, I could have done a. It is detecting. Let's just check. So if it takes more time, I will then park this, because though it's a part of discussion, but I don't want to keep on waiting, for a longer. Ideally, it should not take more than a minute. So in 60 seconds, it should basically launch some kind of diagnosis for user. Do you think I should wait further or I should? Okay, now it has started network diagnosis, detecting problem. It is said that I detected some kind of issue, verifying the some kind of boot mode. Let's see, verifying that the network diagnostic service is running. Okay, it is okay. So you can try exploring the other option that might be helpful. Close the troubleshoot, view detailed info. Now, what's the detailed information? Let's see this. I'm just waiting troubleshooting report. It has not found anything. So yeah, that's why I told you it has not found anything. It's saying detection detail, computer network, Windows version, architecture. Okay, so let's look at the other details. Is my 64 bit? It is saying at this time you have done this, and let's see what is the publisher did. So it has actually collected this information. Try to find out whether this OS is supported or not. Okay, so that's the reason why it actually brings up all the information from my machine. Let me see a publisher detail. Let's just go this down. It is saying that detect problem with the network connectivity, package version 4 and the publisher Windows. So this is Windows OS is saying, Microsoft Windows saying that some problem with the network connectivity. So I am unable to reach to the server. So in the end, they are saying that something wrong with the either you misspelled it. Okay. Now the question I asked to all of you, can you change the message in a clearly way? So maybe Windows network diagnosis this could be changed by putting some other way of actually what it does put in a non-technical way. Second, DNS probe finish. This could have changed, okay? Because right now, it has just launched the diagnosis saying this is what the thing. So, and this message, the error means that your browser couldn't find the IP. Actually, this should have been displayed onto the, your browser page, okay? And there are many causes, the typo in the URL, okay? Actually, all this should have, went to a, this could have been displayed onto the particular thing, the entire message. Okay, instead user go and search for a various thing. Okay, and this should have come in when we are doing a troubleshooting. And if you notice that in troubleshooting doesn't support those reports, what it has done, it is just print 2 3 things saying unable to connect and the story is closed. So it should not happen. Yeah, so I am trying to tell you that. Okay, now let's on the same page, I'll put a one as it is. Okay, and I'll type something like ABC. Okay, so shall I do it onto the next page? Yes, and see what it does. Okay, so again, but I'm telling you one thing very clearly on most of the browser, it has been built very smartly that it actually supports to a user. How does it supports? What it does, it do a best kind of searching in the in your what is called DNS. And what it does, it will actually it say that okay, what if if I remove ABC and launch it. So some browser you may experience it that it actually automatically delete the ABC after PHP, and it will launch you the particular home page. It is, yeah. I mean, some people may say no, on my machine it is working. So you can find this. I'm not saying that it won't happen. Yeah, it will happen. Okay. So it is all of so the URL plays a very important role. Okay, you may land up going to a reach to a another place. Okay, now I want to show you one story. Let me that. What was the there was one case in Australia. Let me just check that. Uh, uh, you know, so I'm trying to trade. Just a minute. Trade of trade because of wrong URL. Let me see if I can get this for us. See, I basically avoid typing all this. There's a reason behind, because they uh, okay, look at, see, I wanted to tell you that if you think that you did a typo, that's a different story. Okay, never ever do a typo. Okay, any reason why that you should never do a typo in the URL, uniform resource locator? Your thought, friends. So I am just gonna check your help over here. So never do a typo on the URL. Okay, okay. Two things. Always type the URL. Okay. So my question to you: why we should not do a typo in the URL? Your 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 thought around it. See, we're not here to understand, what is URL, and honestly, most of us know about it. Okay, you are a expert in network security, I think, computer network, where you went through last semester. Okay, we will look at from a application level. Whatever we learn it, either that's what the bits learning, the entire course objective basically. Any course, I'm not just saying about the web technology. Okay. So can you tell me, is there any threat if you do a typo in the URL, friend?
So we might land on the wrong page, which might not be like real or like not be genuine.
Fantastic, Anchal. Fantastic. Yeah, we that is the biggest threat in the industry now, that never do a typo in the, people will think, oh, it's a typo mistake. And I will tell you that there are threat hacking site. How does hacking happens? This hacking happens because of our mistake. Okay, if I do a typo in any banking site, okay, what will happen that it will, like, as who was that? As Anchal said it perfectly right. Okay, it will take us to a wrong or some hacking portal, and it, you will realize that, oh, whatever I wanted, this is my real site. Okay, fine. Then I will go there. You will input all your bank detail. Fine, and I think it may happen that it may not even check your what is called the OTP. Sorry, the password. It will take in the first glance. Okay, and after that, after and then it will just only capture your detail. Okay, and it will also take you to some dummy data over there and like that. Fine. Uh, okay, and it will tell you that, okay, because of something you need to change your mobile number. So just be aware. So the one threat is that it may take to some site which may not be a legal. Okay, so I, like Anshul said, I wanted to show you what she said. Yeah. So entering wrong can pose several threats, primarily related to a phishing attack and a malware infection. Okay. So typo squatting, it is actually is a typo squatting. That's what basically it is say, where attacker register a domain with a misspelled version of the popular website. And if you want to get more detail, you can click here. See, this is the new feature in the browser. Uh, is also known as a URL hijacking, like Anchal said. Okay, so URL hijacking or a domain squatting is a dissipative tactic where malicious actors register domain that are intentionally. I can select it. Yeah, I can. Intentionally misspelled version of the popular website. When user makes a minor typing error when entering a URL, they may end up on a fake site, which are often used for phishing attack or distributing the malware. So that could happen. So like misspelling. Attacker registered domain names that closely resemble the legitimate. Okay, for example, well-known website, but with a small typo like .com .cust, okay, underscore login.i instead of, .com. And, nowadays I will give in writing, and I'm 100% sure that, we are not at all looking at the URL. This is my 100%, if I'm assuming, my assumption is right. Okay. I seen that, either it is a mobile or it is a laptop or desktop or server. We had stopped looking at the URL. Okay. And we know that the important of the importance of the URL, but we have stopped looking at it. And that is where hacking is happening. It is not that you've given your number to someone and, and then he's not doing because of that number. Okay. They are somewhere able to, manage. So you do something on the mobile and then you land up, clicking for some kind of, help. The story is close over there. Then, they'll, get it again. But they again, that's what I said. One thing, google.com instead of look at it, google.com and instead of google.com. Okay. So triple O is here instead of, double O. Okay. Then targeting user who, mistype URL or trusted site, maybe redirect to a typo spotted website, potentially not to even, realizing that they have landed on a wrong page. So Anchal's, view was perfectly, 1000% right. Okay. The malicious intent. So I don't want to discuss this in detail, but we wanted to show you the importance of the URL. Okay. So again, so they are saying the one thing is that very good to avoid, falling victim of type. User should always double check on the URL, like I said few minutes back, before submitting the wary of unfamiliar or questionable website. It is also important to use a security program and keep it updated to help protect, against malicious website and downloads. Okay. See, that is where one thing very important, have a what is called the antivirus install on your machine who protect us. If you type something, see nowadays, can you tell me what's the difference between, on your mobile, what is the additional service provided by all network provider, Airtel or Jio or others? What kind of service they have provided? Is there any additional service you see that was not there, last year and this year? Maybe this year it has started. You seen that, oh, this is a big change in that particular when I'm getting a call. Have you found anything new over there? So when you receive a call on the mobile, have you found anything? You realize that, oh, this is something new I'm getting. It's very good for me. That when someone calls me, I get to know that whether it's a, you know, uh, whether to basically, receive that call or not. So I'm using a, Airtel, I'm using a Jio, and I found that, when I receive some call, it flashed the message spam. Okay. And trust me, the moment and I tested it. Sometime I received those calls and I came to know that those calls are actually were really a spam call. Okay. If it's not showing spam, they were the genuine calls. Okay. Now, don't tell me my friend is calling me, he's not talking in this way, that way. That's a different story, whether we like our friend or not. Okay, that's a different. But yeah, at least you get the spam message on the mobile. Okay, so that's the kind of change we are bringing. Okay, so that's the reason why we took the URL. Okay, I think this may not be needed now. There. Yeah, they shared some kind of what is called here a breakdown of the potential threat. Okay, phishing is there, malware, unvalidated redirects. Yeah, it can take you to some redirect which is not supposed to be. Cautious of typos. Double click, look for a lock icon. Okay, ensure the website uses HTTPS indicated by a lock icon. Yeah, I think this is one of the what is called way of making sure that we reach to a right portal, and whether it is showing here, it is not showing, but yeah. And then over the link, mouse over to you to see the full URL. Yeah, I think Wipro also have the information security team from Wipro also send us some dummy mails. Okay, and then they say that you were part of the phishing attack. You click on this, particular link, but it was not from Wipro. They do some type of mistake in the URL, but they do it purposely for checking whether we are aware or not. Don't click shorten URL. Okay, like avoid clicking shorten URL. Those from Bitly in email message, or they can hide malicious destination. Use a security program. I told you, minutes back that use a antivirus. Don't play with your laptop, mobile. I think you should also have some kind of antivirus on the mobile. Be wary of unexpected email. Don't click on attachment. Verify website. Legitimacy. Okay, before entering any personal information, ensure website is legitimate and secure, and report suspicious URL and so on. Okay, so I'll just close this. Not needed. Let's go. So this part. Okay. Sorry, I was. Yeah, I already shown. We already seen that URL. There are various part of it. So uh, is uniquely identified resource. We already gone through it, and the resource could be anything. It could be any kind of. It could be a text file. It could be your some document, images, anything which is on their server. Okay. This is a URL format. Scheme colon object address. Okay, and scheme includes HTTP, FTP, Gopher, telnet, file, mail to, and so on and so forth. There are many such other. So, and in case of HTTP, the form address is HTTP qualified domain name. That's why I told you. I typed it in the domain name misspelled in a misspelled way. Then path to a document, query, and some fragment. We'll see that all those written. Okay. When file is used, then file colon path to a document. So um, just a minute. See whether it help us to reach it there. Yeah, so trying to share this abc.txt. Let's see this. Your file again is saying error file not found. It is clearly saying that it might be moved or edited or deleted. Saying that it could have been moved, edited, or deleted, but error file not found. Okay, clearly mentioned that you're trying to locate for a file. I know what you're trying to do, but file is not found. Okay, so it clearly mentioned that what I'm trying to do here. Let me see if I can get. How do I get this file? No, this would be very. Yeah. Let's see here. So file. See what is happening. So if you put something like this, it says that it looks like there aren't many great matches for your searches. And what is the full form of BTS? It is trying to basically give you more help about the other tips. Basically I stored BTS as bits. Okay, so this way. Let's go here and remember the scheme. Yeah, so this is just a part of. Okay, so fully the parts of URL, one is fully qualified domain name. Okay, fully qualified domain name, which is this one, friends. Yeah, yeah. So is the name of web server host name on which resource reside. That's the reason why I when I typed this and I took that as a first example. And if I mention this, so this and it mentioned very clearly here, and said that resource not found. Okay, that's why that's the reason why I checked. Said we took this example here. So just a minute. Yeah, let's have a look at it. Okay. Uh, the web server is referred to as a host because it houses the houses and maintains the resource. So it's a host. Okay, and it maintains it is hosting something. That's why it is called as a host. Okay, it is hosting. So what is host basically stored the resources? It could be anything: file, media. I mean, media file, image file, simple text file, anything. Okay. The host name is transferred into IP address. I don't no need to tell you this. Okay, right? A 32-bit numerical value that uniquely identifies a server on the internet. Okay. So actually, whatever IP address you decide does not matter. so long, it can't go beyond 32 bits. Okay, just remember it. And a domain name system server, maintain a database of host name and corresponding IP address. This we discussed in the last session also. And this is an example, bits Pilani / library. I'll just check it. I mean, uh, I like, getting more message, because that's the way we learn it, and always have a positive and negative side of the message. Okay. Oh, this is fantastic. What if I type, let's say, okay. What do you think what will happen if you type small a, anyone? Is this a case sensitive or not case sensitive? Your thought around it, friends? Was it a, oh, it's, oops, it's saying the 404 page not found. What mistake I made here? Oh, I actually converted to a lowercase. And maybe the file name could be the upper. Let's just check this now. Just a minute, I'm trying to get it to a right version. No, it is wrong. What was it? Library. 1 second, friend. Adjusting a keyboard. Got it. Yeah. Library. It is still not working. Any reason why? So look at here, and let me go back and see what's the problem. Okay, so it is not allowing the us to enter this JPEG version. So that is the problem. Let's just check this. It is taking that, but it is forbidding us basically to input it as it is. Uh, let's just go and type it and check that. Oh, sorry. That way, what was the wrong thing here? I get to know is that we had removed the slash from there. Okay, that was the mistake. Now it works. Okay. Obviously won't work. It's a it's a resource. Okay, and the file name is basically is a basically file name is a case sensitive. You're getting the idea. I mean, like your variable name and file names are basically case sensitive. So that's the reason why it is not working. Okay. The moment you put capital, it comes. Okay. Yeah, that's the variable naming rules or the case file naming rules. So yeah, it works very fine for us. No problem at this point. Let's go ahead. Okay. Uh, I'm checking if they allow me this, what will happen? Uh, this is the final content, and let us go and check, see what happen if they see this. We would be needing it when we do a you know the XML and so what if I type Pilani, will it come? So that totally depends how it is being coded. Okay, whether they assign any landing page, then it will come. If it is no such case, then it won't come. I'm just trying it. Okay. See, I told you, if they assign any landing page means a home page. If you assign any, see, by default, if you click on home, it will after that it will become home dot whatever it is. Yeah. So so this is the landing page only. Okay. So even if you don't give it, okay. So this is the coding being done on this particular server. Okay. And it's not that all the time you will get it, okay, because their set is a default. They say that if you type this URL, you will get default page is this, okay. That's kind of, the setting is done. Do you agree with me, everyone? That, they given a default page when this domain is typed. Yes, no, friends? Are you with me on this? I'm talking about particularly this, this side. Uh, Thank you, Prajwal. Thank you so much. Thanks, Vishwajit. I remember that there was some other query. Thank you so much. Okay. Uh, just trying to see. Okay, it's Pilani. Let's go and have a look at and do something else. Just put Pilani and try it. Yeah, it works because for them, no such problem if user types in whichever uppercase, lowercase, that kind of, so it is actually done at the your web server level. Okay, I mean in the DNS mapping they say that if they type the case right or wrong, especially for a domain name, okay, or a website name, that's okay, I will accept it, because anyway either you type in Pilani or small case, lowercase, I will take you to that particular place, okay. But any specific resource it won't work, okay, because file name and the variable name are case sensitive, okay. So we are playing with this particular thing, okay. Then there's a port number, and I'm not sure whether we are getting it over here. We should, but because it's not a fully qualified name, so you won't get a port. Okay, so that is being done. Anyway, not interested to see that. Okay. So default port number of HTTP is 80. Is there port number attached to every program in the machine or not? Do you think every program, everything in the machine has a port number? Every file has a port number, or every object has a port number. Let's say I stored one file.txt. Does it having a port number, or I'm having one file called f1.html? Does it having a port number or not? There was a command basically to find out the port number. So what was it, if I'm not wrong? What is the command? Let me just type the list. Okay. Command to see the list of port number. Okay. I am still waiting for my answer. I ask you one question. How to see all ports in the command? Yeah, this is the command actually. Okay, net state. I remember. Net state. Net state. Yeah, look at it. So it shows, all the port number being assigned. See, look at it. TCP is 50276. Then, for everything which is on this machine, the port number has to be assigned. Otherwise, how would you recognize? See, this machine is recognized by the IP address. Okay. But if there are certain file on this machine, how will you recognize? So every file has got a port number. That is the story. It right now, it is started with the TCP. First, it will place transmission control protocol, particular whatever the port being assigned, and this is the port number, 50276 279. You will see that it is actually a no, unique. You will not get a similar being top copy paste. If the resource is same, that's okay. See, 279. Look at all the port numbers over here. Okay, 86 183. This is the foreign state. It will consume a time. I think what was that the earlier command? It's one only TCP. Maybe that port is at the moment is active. What is that command? Netstate hyphen ANO find/I port number. How see I list of ports? Netstate hyphen A it is saying. Okay, I'll just put it. Netstate hyphen A. Why is it not allowing? Or do we have to give this? What's this command here? Netstate. See, all system guys will be able to tell us. Double quotes, I don't think the mandate, but still I told you, I don't think it's a mandate. Anyway,
Just put one space before that hyphen.
you're saying, yeah, I did it in the last time also. This one? Oh, I need to remove the double quotes, right?
And remove that quotes.
Yeah,
which you
yeah,
have,
I'm doing. Sorry. I think right now the active ones are only TCP. I not hosted any web server, but this is the active connection is showing. I was looking for, okay, 10153 HTTPS. Anyway, let them keep on checking, and we'll come back to that because it may take a time. So no issue at all. So I told you so this usually website server address has 8080. Okay, so default port number of HTTP is 80. If server has been configured to some other port number, it is necessary to attach the port number to host name in the URL. Okay, if 80 is not used, some other else. Okay, to hold on. Just a minute. Let me try this. We are assuming that this must have been the right what is called the address assigned. Took long to respond. Checking the connection, checking the proxy, they might have changed it actually. 8084. Definitely, this could be something else only. Uh, because 8080 maybe some other server on this particular DNS, then they could have changed to 8084. So when we do a web development, and let's say if we specify some port, then it gives the error if it is already used. Okay, so this could be something else. That's what I said. Don't go with the command here. Okay, yeah. Path and file name, very important. The name and location of the requested resources under server document based directory. Location is typically a virtual directory, and server map requests a URL to the document whose location is not known to a client. URL cannot include spaces. Yeah, so that is one thing we should always remember. So no spaces are there. In case you find a site where spaces are allowed, that means they are attacked, some kind of attack. So for example, this is the thing. You cannot have a. Oh, sorry about this. So I was trying to say. See, look at it. Because we given a space, it will not find that. Okay. The page you are looking for might have been removed or had its name changed, or is temporarily unavailable. Okay. So yeah, it's a that the file name or variable naming convention does not allow spaces over there. I'm just saying that yeah, it is there in the folder. It does allowed in the folder, okay, but while locating a resource, it is not allowed. So I'm trying to save this. So I can say new, okay, folder. See, look at here. It has that space. So here it is allowed, okay. Uh, is this? Yeah, it is there. Uh, So it goes in a different way. So any idea why the spaces are not allowed on the URL? Anyone? Any thought from you? Anyone? Any thought? Have you ever asked a question to yourself that why spaces are not allowed in the URL?
So in URL, it is considered as a different character.
Yeah, that absolutely right, Anchal. Yeah, because it takes as a character. Okay, it takes as a percentage, and then basically try to basically match the particular file path. And if it doesn't find, then gives the error. That's the trouble over there. Okay. Uh, Other thing is that we have seen that because if space is there, then it treat that as an extra character. Okay, and if they start giving you such kind of facility, then it become a difficult for a programmer also to basically kind of read those spaces from a browser and see how many spaces have been given. So that become a little complex from a programmer perspective also. That's why they say that remove the concept of the space. It is not allowed at all. And one thing also said that it should not be a breakable. It should not break in between, because once it is break, it's considered to be that it's the end of the URL. Okay, you will see never ever on the URL. I'm talking about the browser specifically. Okay, the spaces are there. Like as Anshul said, takes some kind of a percentage text basically, and it assumes that it has been broken. Okay, so what I'm gonna do that let me see if I get something. You look at here. See here also, if you see there is no space. See, you're getting it. Uh, and and if I try to do this, see, look at, and I just launch it. See now what happened. See, it has took this as a percentage 3A2F and trying to get if we get some meaningful information, and unfortunately it has not. But what it has done actually from this particular URL itself, try to give us some meaningful result. Actually, it should not be the case. This kind of result it basically lead to a this hacking attack. Okay, uh, that is always be the case I seen. So we have to be just careful about it. Just a minute. I was looking some. Do you have any complex URL? Anyone? Can you share that? Let me just see it in a Google. I just want to show you something. List of complex URL in the world. It may not give. I'm trying. What are different types of URL? Let's just check if I can get something from here. Uh, oh, it's a full list of. Okay, this is one, but this is a easy one. This is also the easy one. It's a relative. Okay, this is a relative URL. This is a complete path. So I'm looking for some complex URL. This may not be. It's a div. Similarly, this is short URL. Okay, and this is vanity query fragment. I'm looking certain complex. Uh, if I can go to this list, I had done a search from here. Is it that? Okay, let me close it. Anyway, let's just come back in some time. Yeah. So this we already discussed. A query string, the most important part in the URL. Sometimes it plays a magic, okay, and sometimes it plays a create a insecurity to a programmer. Okay. So a query string is used to, we're gonna play with this when we do what is called do a form submission from HTML, and we'll write a JavaScript over there and all this thing. There we will see in more depth. So if a query string is used to provide a string of information that resource can use, the query string is usually a string of name and value pair. That's what it is. So for example, term equal to so name is term, value is btech. So it's a name value pair. If there are you want to give more than one, then it's a ampersand. They concatenate using a ampersand. So two name value pair like term equal to btech and courses equal to CSE have been combined with the ampersand sign. So name and value pair are separated from each other by an ampersand sign. Okay, thus address of operator in C language. Okay. That's how it is. And the fragment used to refer to an internal section of within a web document. I'll show you the interior. This is how it is. So communication protocol HTTP. Okay, just 1 minute. So communication protocol HTTP. Host name bits pilani bits-pilani .ac.in. Okay. Port number 808. Path admission / first degree. This is what the path have been given. And after question mark, the query string starts. So question mark and then followed by it starts the entire query string. So term equal to btech and hash fragment is basically a section inside it. It used to refer to internal section of within a web document. I mean, some section over a we'll see when we do a HTML or a CSS. We'll come to know what is a fragment. Okay. So document root is web server, admin web top docs. I mean, whatever it is. Again, one more example: HTTP bits pilani admission first degree. Okay. If it is a file path, then file path could be something like this. And there are a few expert. I let's listen to them in case if it is longer video we won't listen. We need to respect time. Let's just listen to this and we'll play more with the. So from next week onward, we're gonna start the HTML programming. Okay. If possible today.
So, what exactly is
It will
URL?
take only 2 parts.
If you look at the top of the browser, you will notice the URL, which usually begins with www and ends with .com. URLs are unique identifiers that are used to search for any resource on the internet. URL is synonymous with web address. It is just like street address, that identifies location of a particular asset on the internet. In theory, each URL points to a single resource, which could be an HTML page or CSS document or something else. What does URL stands for? The acronym URL stands for Uniform Resource Locator. Every URL is made up of multiple parts, and how URLs are constructed will have a variety of effects on the security and SEO of your site.
So this security part we had already talked about it. Okay, I given a wrong number in the particular file, then I given a wrong number in the domain, and then we talked that the threat of misleading URL or maybe a typo. So that's what they are also talking.
Let's dissect the URL structure. The scheme or protocol is what access the resource in internet. Some of the protocol examples are HTTP, HTTPS, FTP, etc. HTTPS is the most commonly used scheme as it encrypts the data that you enter in page. Subdomains are used to distinguish one section of a website from the main site. The most common subdomain is www, which stands for World Wide Web. Furthermore, the second-level domain is the name of your brand website. The top-level domain identifies the type of entity which your company is registered on the internet. A subdirectory, also known as a path, determines the section of a web page the user is on. The query parameter is a non-hierarchical data string. It's usually a series of attribute value pairs separated by a delimiter, like an ampersand.
So it's a non-hierarchical. Okay, it is not that one query is a part of another and another is another. If we keep on extending and and give a more than one query parameter, it's not like that. It's just a part. It's a not hierarchical. That's what I'm trying to say. So the name value pair, if let's say if it separated with ampersand, does not mean that the first name value pair is a parent and the second name value pair is a child of that. So it never works in that way. Every name value pair is an individual entity.
The query is separated from the part that comes before it by a question mark. A fragment is a named anchor, which is an internal page reference. It is usually found at the end of a URL and begins with a hash character followed by an identifier.
We'll be
Let's
doing a
take a look at
fragment
the
programming
URL
also.
structure as a whole. Now you know the most common parts of the URL.
Yeah, it was just all right. So let's go ahead. Okay. Now this talks more about HTTP hypertext transfer protocol. But it's not an end of journey where we gonna see every part when we do a programming. So in this segment, they're talking about, but we will not go in that depth honestly, because we won't understand, till the program is not written. Okay, till the entire how does information flows from a server. If I'm requesting for certain pages, I hope you understand if you're not aware about the what is the web all about. So I'm talking in that term. In case you're not understanding, do not worry about it. Because we're going to start with the HTML programming, we'll go to a CSS, and as we proceed further, you will get to know everything, in depth. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So there are certain terms which I'm using web server. If you're not aware, that's okay, friend, no issue. Okay, so let's talk about HTTP request, respond, and so on and so forth. So yeah. So HTTP hypertext transfer protocol is an asymmetric request response client server protocol. Okay. So, so you can say, it's one of the protocol where the communication happen, that's why it's a protocol. The what way the communication will happen, certain rules are being established. Okay, that's why it's called as a, protocol. And HTTP is a stateless protocol. Stateless protocol means that it doesn't remember anything, so you visited a site first time, okay, then you perform some activity, okay, then when you go next time, again that information is lost. Okay, fine. So it is stateless. Okay, again, it doesn't carry anything from one page to another page. Fine. Because so URL it just connect to a server. Only URL is mentioned and what is required. It doesn't carry that to a server. Okay, remember it. We're gonna see what is stateless in more depth. So it's an application level protocol for distributed collaborative hypermedia information system. Okay, it consists of two phases: request and response. Uh, each HTTP communicates request response between a browser and a web server, and two parts are there: header and a body. Okay, so just 1 second. Yeah. Header and what? Header contains information about the communication, and body contains the data of the communication optional. Okay, I mean what you want to transfer, that is that go in the body, and like there are some basic information needed. We'll go and see a header in more detail. Yeah, okay. So how does it work? Basically, the you know URL issues. So user issues a URL from a browser, which I did many a times today. Uh, like for this, like I give it from a browser. Now, yeah, yeah. Browser generates a HTTP request message for the specified URL. So it generates that, it takes as a complete as a request, okay, as a HTTP request. HTTP request is sent to a respective web server saying, this is for what I got it for you. Okay. But provided if this is a successful, I mean, the web server has to be initially, I mean, though mistake which I've done here. So I was talking about this. So this browser generate as a HTTP request. Okay. It, and let's try to find out that whether these things exist or not. Okay. So anyway, all stories start from DNS. It checks, yeah, it does exist. There's an IP address to it. If it is not, it will stop all those, the entire request response life cycle here only. I mean, at the client browser only. Okay. It is not that, it is reaching out to all web server and saying, do you handle this? Do you handle this? Do you handle? No, it is not at all that way. Okay. It's just a simple story. It goes to a DNS. If it says, okay, this domain itself is wrong, it will put you this kind of messages. Okay. By the way, this was not wrong domain. Why does this message? Anyway, I did change it. So itself is a one request. Okay. And let's say if you give everything in, perfect, like here, for example, this example, this one, you give everything perfect. I think this is not, this is the wrong example I'm taking. Okay. This we can take it. So if you give everything perfect, then what? Okay. Then web server received your request, and then it breaks the entire what is being brought to us as in the form of request. Okay. So like, are you requesting some files, okay, or not? So for example, the example which we took, uh, one of the example we were referring is, yeah, this one. Okay. So let's say, no, I will land up on the same page, so I remove it. Yeah, so it goes there, it checks, yeah, everything correct, then say what does this library means. Okay. So it retrieves this parameter, and then accordingly it will map to a library.jpg. I mean, that's how the entire story goes around. There are many things into it. I'm not saying it's the final thing which I'm talking. Just a minute, where were we? It's this. Oh, we were this right. Okay. So web server receives the HTTP request, maps request resource to a document or a program under its own directory. That's what I did. I just typed the what is called the Pilani, and the library was mapped and showing library dot JPEG. Okay. The web server generate HTTP response message with the request resource and send it to a client. Browser interpret the HTTP response and display the content in the browser window. Whatever it is that it comes always HTTP request and response. This is a two theory. It works in the web server. It goes as anything goes as a HTTP request and comes out to be a HTTP response when it talks about the web server. Okay. Now, this is a general form of a HTTP request. Request line, header field, blank line, and message body. I'll show you this. Yeah, this is the way. So this is a request line. We can't see it here right now because we are not typing in that way. Okay. So, but get generated internally. When we do a trace, we will learn this also. So tracing is one thing. Please remind me how to do a trace. Okay. Uh, So this is a request line. It's saying that get is there. We'll talk about what is get and version 1.1. Then there's a request headers. So it says that okay, google.com is, so who has requested. So google.com has requested. Okay, user agent is Mozilla. I am accepting. So it accepts either text, XML, or star slash star. Accepted language. Although it shows English US or just English. This could be UK actually. Accepted encoding ZZip or deflate. Accepted character set ISO, and these are the only those character sets are allowed. Okay, and keep alive 300 request. This is for the request and connection. We will talk about this and keep alive. Uh, there is the message right now. Either decoded or blank. So right now basically it is blank here. Okay. So request line. So first line in the header is called request line, like request method name. We're gonna see in more depth now, like this one they're talking about. Yeah. Let me just. Sorry. Yeah. Request method name HTTP method. So it has been mentioned here as a get. Please allow me. 1 minute. I'll type. misspent. Hold on. Just yeah. Oh, that's good. It's an entire image. Let me take this. Yeah. Now I'll bring this guy a little bit here, and then they would need this on term here. I'm just checking if I can copy paste. Yeah, we can, but trying to, so okay, we'll keep on moving. So let's talk about request first. Okay, so request method, HTTP method, which is a get over here. Request URI specify the resource requested. Okay. And HTTP version. So resource requested is, where is that? Okay. Download.html is what requested. Here, download.html. And version 2 version currently in use, HTTP 1.0 and HTTP 1.1. Okay. So let us just, go and understand this, difference. Just a minute. List of. See, I always believe in, typing and runtime. There's a reason, because you get updated information. List of HTTP versions. What is the latest? Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. See, look at it. So when this site, this presentation might have, designed. Okay, that time, because, not sure in which year, this has been created. That's how, the things are different over here. Let me, it shows only 2 here, but, let's check this. So latest version of hypertext protocol is HTTP 3. Okay. And that's why I told you that I go and type Dynamo on at runtime, because if there's any update, you'll get to know. Okay. So latest version of hypertext protocol is HTTP 3, released in 2022. It builds upon the improvement introduced in HTTP 2 also. And here we are talking about 1.0 and 1.1. Here's a little breakdown. It says, so when, okay, it is actually discarded, converted 1.0 to 1.1. While still, okay, this is still in use. It's the oldest version and has limitation in terms of performance and efficiency. That's, we will see when we do a performance and efficiency kind of, diagnosis. Okay. What is HTTP 2? Introduced several improvement over HTTP 1, such as multiplexing and header compression, leading to a faster website loading speed. Okay, like the more information, basically header consists of, more information. So how can we compress that, and send those requests to a web server? Okay, because if your header has the, more information, sending that. So I was, referring this, like this one, uh, see, what thing goes, look at it. This entire thing, the request line, request, see, n number of things are there. Accept, encoding, character set, keep alive, user agent. Like it's your basically a browser supported. Okay, and so on. Host name, it has many information. So it compresses and then sends to a web server. Uh, just try to understand that way. I mean, that's what the actual fact. Now, what HTTP 3 does, newest version, it leverages QIC protocol, uh, which is built on UDP and offers features like improved latency, stream independence, and built-in encryption. So more secure sites and okay. So while HTTP latest version, it's worth nothing that different version HTTP can be used simultaneously and translation to HTTP is ongoing. Okay, so it is not still done that, but it's still ongoing. Okay. So if we go to Wikipedia, you will get, more detail. Uh, Yeah, so application layer protocol, internet protocol. We were looking at the version. So let me go back, see if I can get. Yeah, it is here. Actually, I'm looking as yeah. This is what I'm trying to tell you. So now 0.9, 1.0 are obsolete. Okay. See, it is in the presentation. It's mentioned too. But I just wanted to show you. Okay, that tomorrow, if someone asks you and you say that no, I in the session today I heard it is only what is that 1.1, yeah, like this one. So that's the reason why thought of sharing this. Nothing else. 91, 90, so 0.9, 1.0 came in 96, 97. 1.1 was started in 97, and it was a standard used in August 33.8, supported in August 100%. Okay. HTTP2 introduced 2015, 35.3, supported in 60. HTTP3 now we have, and 2022 it was introduced. I think it is currently uh, going on, and 30.9 uses in August and support in August 30.9%. It is more about some history about it. We may not be interested at this moment of time. Okay, we'll come back as and when So HTTP data exchange, HTTP is a stateless protocol, and if you just you'll sorry. So stateless protocol is a common protocol in which receiver must not retain the session state from a previous request. The sender transfer relevant session state to the receiver in such a way that request can be understood in isolation. That is without reference to a session state from previous request. I mean, if I'm logging today, and whatever activity I've done on this particular web server, and if I close the browser, everything is gone. Okay. uh, when you come next time, then again you're restarting, you're reestablishing, and so on. I don't like that. Okay, that's why it is a stateless. Okay. In contrast to a stateful protocol, a communication protocol in which receiver may retain session state from a previous state. So HTTP is not okay, whereas uh, TCP and FTP are the stateful protocol. Okay, I think there might be some questions on in your mind about. Okay. Yeah. Uh, this is, I think, good. Let's go ahead. Uh, uh, Sorry, we were discussing at this point. I'm sorry about it, friends. Yeah. So I'll take it from here. So request method name, HTTP method, it is get here actually. URI version is specified. Example of a request line, HTTP test HTML, or head our post. This is with the method name, what is the resource requested, and what is the version. Okay, that is how it is. So it mentioned requested method name. I think the more I'm trying to, yeah, requested method name get, requested URI test.html, and HTTP version. So get, head, post. Okay, and we'll see in some time. Uh, let's go ahead. So the request header in the form of name value pair, multiple values separated by commas and can be specified. Request header name, request header value, comma, separated by commas. Okay, so request hyphen header name, request header name, request header name value 2. So example of request header like host www.xydos.connection accept and so on. These are a few examples. Uh, Let me just open this. Oh no, Control Z. Doing the word trace. No, I was looking for some other trace, the trace of the site. Anyway, we'll do that in the next session better. Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna do a debug entire portal. Okay. So general form of HTTP response, status line, response header field, blank line, and response body. Okay. So status line include HTTP version, use 3-digit status code. Remember now, this status code is very important. the 404 found, you all of you are aware about the 501, but this HTTP response is status code. Let's see what is this short textual explanation of the status code. So these are this. So HTTP status line, this is okay, 200 okay. Okay. This is what the response header is mentioned, blank line, and HTTP message being, transferred. Okay. This is what it was talking about. Status line, response header field, blank line, and response body. This one. This is the entire as an output being transferred. This one message. The blank line is required because otherwise it will consider this as a part of the HTTP header information. That's the reason why blank line is required over here. Okay, I have just thought of updating you. That's the thing always. Status line. The first line is called status line. Okay, this one, the first line. Okay, HTTP/1.200. Okay, means yeah, we got the right web server. HTTP version status code region phase. Okay. Status code 3-digit number generated by a server to reflect outcome of the request, like this one 200 is a 3-digit number, and okay, well, reason phase gives short explain of the status code. So okay is the status code over here. Okay, that means they found domain, everything. Common status code and reason phrases are like 200 okay, 404 not found. Forbidden means you are restricted to access that particular thing. 500 internal server error. Okay. Example of status line are 200 okay, or 404 not found, or forbidden. Forbidden means that you've been restricted to do this thing. And these are the status code in 3-digit number. First digit specify the general status. Like in one means informational, like here. This was I'm talking about 1, 2, 4, 3, and so on. 2 means it's a success, like this one. It's a success. Okay. And 3 means it's a redirection. It is redirected to some other resource or portal for the. 4 means a client error. Okay, and 5 means, so client error means I typed that's the reason why I started with typing the wrong file name and the wrong domain name. So it will say no, it's a client error actually. You typed the wrong file, and like that, or maybe you typed the wrong domain name. So that is what basically it tries to show. Okay, and these are the few status code being mentioned over here with the series of 100, 200 success 3. Like in the information we could have 100 to 103 early hints, processing, switching protocol, continue, and so on. 200 okay, 201 created, accepted, non-authority information 203. Okay, non-content, reset content. There are many such, at the moment we don't need to basically know about this. Only few, just for the information purpose, we thought of sharing this. Redirection means multiple choices, moved permanently. I mean, maybe that URL does not exist, but redirect to something else, so that's why does a 300 error. 404 for the client error, like bad request. You remember we've seen that bad request at the time of doing a file. That sometime you might have an has the unauthorized access also. Payment required or forbidden. I think you get a forbidden many a times. Then it is restricted. 405 method not allowed. Okay, so you type either get head, put there many methods, and say that no, sorry, this method is not allowed for this particular request. We'll see it. Then I'll just go to a server error basically. 500 internal server. I think we got this message. 501 not implemented. It says that though this server exists, but this file you are looking at, this response to a particular program you're looking does not exist. Okay, bad gateway, service unavailable. At the moment, this is not available. Or timeout. I think this timeout we have seen many times. When it takes more time to load certain data, it shows a timeout message. Okay, or sometimes you need a network authentication, or maybe storage is not there. You're trying to load more data on the HTTP, that shows that it is not there. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll just stop this here, and next time we'll start doing HTML programming, and then we'll continue with CSS and XML. Okay. So thank you so much for your time, everyone. Have a great day and take care. I'm gonna stop recording here. Right. So let me stop this. So if class